Tony, when it rains it pours for Tony Khan, and Eric Bischoff has been getting stuck straight into him. And the funny fact is, he wasn't even talking about this week's Dynamite, he was talking about last week's Dynamite, but we're here to talk about it nonetheless, alright? And it doesn't really matter if he was talking about this week's or that week's Dynamite, because at the end of the day, I think he was more speaking about Dynamite as a collective. It's not like last week's show was the worst thing he's ever seen, but you know, the rest of the shows are good. Bischoff was using a generalised comment to get stuck into them, to get stuck straight into them, and I cannot blame them. Anyway, it's early morning here on the 21st of November 2024, and I, for one, cannot wait to bury this company. Damn it, I can't wait to bury it, so that's what we're going to do. You guys are not nice. You guys are not nice to big Tony. I mean, we're not. But you know what? We buried WWE as well. Why is there people out there that think that Fog Wrestling don't actually like bury WWE? I hate watching wrestling. I hate watching WWE. Alright? See when SmackDown produced that 1.2 there? I buried it. Rightfully so. He buried it. I mean, it was the lowest SmackDown rating ever. Ever, folks. Ever. I don't think there can be enough burying towards it. I mean, how do you get the worst rating ever and expect your flaws? Come on. Now, Eric Bischoff, he was speaking on his 83 Weeks podcast, and he went, "We're the best wrestle, my ass. That was some of the most horrible wrestling I've ever sat down and forced myself to watch. Some matches were okay, but it was garbage from beginning to end. And I watched it last night because I typically don't watch AEW. It's just not on my list of things to do. There's nothing about it that I find interesting or compelling. I think it was one of the worst wrestling shows I've ever watched. From the concrete floor in the arena up, it was so bad, so bad." End of quote. It does. It is so bad though. He's right for like the concrete floor on the way up, mate. There's a lot of talk about, you know, they've got like the guaranteed money, and that's why they don't care. And Bischoff would know, you know, all about that. And it's like, the amount of people that watch WWE, right, even though it's dwindled over the years, see when you actually think of wrestling, right, and what it got in its heyday, there is so many people out there that you could captivate and bring back to the product, and also new viewers as well. See this? Here we did a few shows above 1 million once upon a time. We were going to challenge Raw, hypothetically, and now we can't even get above, you know, anywhere near 700k. There is so much more viewers they can get, but they continue to cater to the fucking marks, right? And it's not going anywhere. Now this is what Bischoff went on to say. There's so much inherently wrong, and it starts with Tony Khan. It starts with a lack of vision, absolute lack of understanding, zero comprehension of what the wrestling audience is. The 3 to 5 million active wrestling fans, depending on who you believe, that do tune in to watch every week. That's your audience. It's not Dave fucking Meltzer's Figure 4 online dirt sheet universe. But that's who Tony Khan is booking to. Everything that's done in AEW is done from the perspective of Tony Khan's fandom. And unfortunately, Tony Khan's fandom doesn't represent the other 98.8% of people that enjoy professional wrestling. End of quote. And you know what? You've got to agree with him. He does. He books for the saddest of marks, and he pretty much does book for Dave Meltzer. Davey boy. I don't understand why he does book for Davey boy Meltzer, to be honest, because I see Dave Meltzer, he's sad. I haven't even looked at Twitter, right, the past couple of days for wrestling, really. But you know what, after this video, I'm going to take a wee cheeky look for Dave Meltzer, and I can guarantee you that I'm going to see Dave Meltzer greeting his eyes out about something that's just absolutely ridiculous. Oh, but we were 7th in the night. Oh, you know, NXT's available and this amount of more homes. Wah, wah, wah. Not a chance, Dave. There's no excuses. What? He's obviously getting paid off. And even if he's not getting paid off, could it just be the simple fact, like Bischoff says, the show is so catered towards Dave Meltzer and the band of retards that he feels obliged because Tony Khan's dedicating a show to him. He feels obliged to defend it, potentially. Anyway, he's labelled it the worst. What do you guys think? It's up there, like, that's for sure.